I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a radio announcer. I'm a high school football coach. And since I was old enough to stand on the side of a stream next to my dad, I've been an angler. I've fished with bait, lures, and flies. I've fished with spinning gear, fly rods, jigging poles, and tip-ups. I've stood on ice, waded rapids, and been tossed about the deck of a boat. And I want you to love fishing, be it freshwater or salt, heavy flows, high seas, or cutting through a foot of ice, as much as I do, no matter what the quarry, no matter the tactics, no matter the chosen tackle. Welcome to Yankee Fisherman. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop this Thursday, August 18th of 2016. Where's the summer going? And we'll talk a lot more about that later on. First off, I just want to get this out just to promote. There's a fellow angler who needs some help. There's an effort going online and on Facebook, and that's Captain Todd McKechnie. He is battling cancer, and a fundraiser has started for him. It's a website that you can see right now. It's TMAC, T-M-A-C-K, Strong, TMAC Strong, all one word, .com. It's a GoFundMe. If you can go there and donate, it's also available on Facebook. We're all pulling for you, Todd. Get well soon, and if you can donate, guys, help that out. Now, another sign of summer, and let's stay out on the salt water, is the WICC Port Jeff Ferry, greatest bluefish tournament on earth. We have on the phone with us right now Chris Mancini. He is the Assistant Program Director and Bluefish Tournament Director for WICC 600 out of Bridgeport. Chris, thanks for joining us on Yankee Fisherman.
Thanks so much for having us on today, John.
So how are the preparations going for the tournament?
Going very well, actually. We've got everyone here. They're calibrating scales right now. That's right. I was just coming from about 5 minutes ago, going through all of our scales, getting them calibrated, making sure everything's okay with them. So we're right on target for where we need to be for next weekend.
How many scales do you have to calibrate, just out of curiosity?
It's one for every weigh station. So we have 18 weigh stations with us this year. So we have 18 scales up front that they just started calibrating.
And you can register at those weigh stations up until the Friday before the tournament. The tournament is Saturday, August 27th and Sunday, August 28th. You can register up through Friday in person at, there's a cutoff time of
7 p.m.
7
on
p.m.
Friday.
You can, online, you've got until 11:59, right before midnight.
Yep.
And
the other way is over the phone. If they want to give us a call and register, we also do registrations over the phone. Our phone number is 203-366-BLUE. That's 203-366-2583. We do that until 5 p.m. on Friday the 26th.
34th annual. How has this tournament sustained this long?
It's been going on for a long time. It obviously, anybody who has been following it from the beginning knows that it started very different than what it is now. It was a $1 million tagged fish when it originally started.
Right.
So we've evolved from that to where it is now, which is the $25,000 guaranteed top prize. And that's been, we've been at the $25,000 now for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's evolved, and we've got a lot of dedicated people that still fish with us and go out and try to catch that top prize. So we've had a strong participation for a long time now.
$25,000, as Chris said, for the heaviest bluefish, $10,000 for second place, $2,500 for third, $500 for fourth and fifth, $200 each for the next 10 heaviest, and then $200 for the heaviest at each of what you said is 18 weigh stations?
Correct.
All along the Sound. Now, boats only tournament, or does anybody from the shore ever get involved?
No, absolutely. You can fish from the shore, fish from a boat. We've had winners in the past who fish from the shore. So, however you feel comfortable, or wherever you're comfortable fishing, and however you're comfortable fishing, that's the way we want you to do it. So, like I said, we've had people from boats, people from the shore. So, there's as long as you catch that big one, you never know where it's going to be.
All baits are open?
Yes.
So you can live bait, you can surf cast, plugs, eels, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, again, however you're comfortable. You know, we don't restrict anyone with how or or where they fish. You know, we want them to be comfortable, and we want them to fish the way that they're that they think that they can catch that biggest blue.
How many people are signed up already?
We normally get our normal participation is around 2,500. We see the majority of people wait until the last minute, unfortunately, to register. But right now we're right where we normally are. We're about halfway to that 2,500 mark. With about a week, just over a week left, and we again see the peak in the registration that Thursday and Friday before.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure everybody wants to run. Everybody wants to pre-fish it and find out where they're getting the bigger ones.
Of course, yeah, and obviously with our online registration, the ability to print out, registration confirmation, or even have it on your phone, when you register, has made it a lot easier for people. So, we do have people registering online right up until 11:59.
Oh man, I'm sure. So, how crazy does it get out there with 2,500 entrants?
It's a big sound. So we have people fishing from all over too. We've had from Bridgeport to Port Jeff down towards City Island, up towards Old Saybrook. So it's not I get that question gets asked a lot, honestly. It's I think everybody has their own spots too. So, we've been lucky enough, and knock on wood, that we've never had any issues of anybody trying to fish in the two people trying to fish in that same spot. So, it's gone very well for us. So we hopefully that continues.
How long have you been involved?
This is my 11th year involved in it, and my 10th directing the tournament.
How'd you get involved in it? I mean, obviously you work for ICC.
Yeah, I started here at the radio station in promotions, and started with the tournament back in 2006. So that was my first one, and then 2007 I took over. 6 I took over. I lose track of years. To be
know the feeling.
I think it was 2006 that I started, and then 7 was my first as director. So
now, do you fish yourself?
In the you're talking about in the tournament or
overall?
I do casually. I'm not. My time, especially over the summer, is pretty filled. Between the tournament and my regular position here at the station. So I don't get out as much as as maybe some of us wish we did. But I casually, yes, I do.
Are you a saltwater guy, freshwater guy?
Saltwater.
Saltwater. And I can understand you not getting out. I mean, it has to be a daunting task to oversee a tournament of this scope. I mean, the entire Long Island Sound, 18 weigh stations.
Yeah, and it's pretty. We start March, April. Every year is when we really kind of jump into it, and we don't we really don't wrap it by the time we get get prizes out and everything and settled. We don't really wrap until normally either Halloween or Thanksgiving. That's kind of our spot when we've kind of finally put a bow on it every year is Halloween or Thanksgiving. So it's been it's almost a full year that we work on it. So it's a long process.
But it obviously it draws the entrance, it draws the attention, it creates a lot of excitement. You've really hit on something that's become a tradition for everybody who fishes the Long Island Sound.
Yeah, and that weekend's great. It's a lot of fun. For us, we end up down at Captain's Cove all weekend in Bridgeport. That's where we do our shows, live broadcasts all weekend, and we do updates on the radio all weekend with the top weights. So we're able to get out there and kind of see everybody come in, see people weigh in and fish, and it's a really, really fun weekend overall.
And you'll be able, as you said, to get updates. They'll be on WICC 600 AM. You'll also have those on the web at WICC600.com.
Absolutely. That the on-air updates we do at the top and the bottom of every hour over the weekend. But the good thing about the website is that that's updated constantly. So no matter when you log in there, you're able to see the up to the second standings.
But that's a great advance in that, and it's got to really add to the excitement to know what you need to catch to get onto that leaderboard.
Yeah, I think that, obviously from when I started, when we didn't have, the ability to keep a leaderboard like that updated constantly to where we are now, it makes it, I think, a lot more interesting, and it's a lot easier for everyone fishing it to be able to pull up those standings and see exactly, what they need to bring in. So, you can kind of make a judgment on whether, you want to stay out and try to catch something a little bit bigger, or try to get in and weigh in what you've already caught.
All right, that's the WICC 600 Port Jeff Ferry Greatest Bluefish Tournament on Earth. That is the weekend of Saturday, August 27th and Sunday, August 28th on the Long Island Sound. Unless there's an act of God, I love the way you guys phrase that. If there is an act of God, it will be postponed to September 10th and 11th. All the information at WICC600.com. Chris Mancini, thank you so much for spending a few minutes. Good luck with the tournament.
Thank you, and thank you so much for having us on.
We'll be back in a minute with more Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. Warm weather, light breezes, boats are in the water. There's no better place to celebrate summer than the Dock Shop. Whether in Darien at 51 Tokenique Road or Westport at 609 Riverside Avenue, the Dock Shop is where you'll find everything you need to kick off summer. From the latest summer apparel to the newest fishing tackle, the Dock Shop will help you get the most out of your next beach day or harbor cruise. At the Dock Shop, you'll find a wonderful selection of items made in the USA and right here in New England, all with a distinct nautical flair. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the coastal lifestyle, this is a unique place to shop. DockShop.com.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Drop off your knives to be sharpened, grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers, and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Hi, this is Leo Carl from Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan, and you've heard me talk about the Chevy Volt for years. The new model gets 53 miles on EV charge daily, plus 420-mile full range. But don't take my word for it. You need to come in and test drive the Volt yourself. Visit us at 261 Elm Street in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
A Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with a Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
You're watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 1 million people have watched our live sports, news, and entertainment programming since the network launched in August 2015. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop on the HAN Network this Thursday, August 18th. Again, we're just really a week and a half, 9 days away from the WICC Port Jeff Ferry Greatest Bluefish Tournament on Earth. All the information is at WICC600.com. Thanks again to Chris Mancini for coming on with us to talk about that. It's really an exciting event that I wish I had the time to be more involved with. I just have some scheduling conflicts that time of year, but seems like guys really get into it. Have a good time. Be safe out there. A few weeks ago, we went out and caught up with the Connecticut Bass Nation high school guys on one of their tournaments. They wrapped up the season. The Nonawog high school fishing team won its 4th straight Connecticut championship. They qualified for the High School Bass Nationals. That's for the 4th year in a row. The tournament was Saturday on Lake Zor. So they and Billy Hinckley from Notre Dame of West Haven, we had those guys on, qualified for the Nationals. Great job by everybody involved there. Hope to catch up with all of the Nationals qualifiers for a future show. They'll be in a little bit of a sabbatical now till the season starts up again, and it will be the 2017 Bassmaster Nation High School Championship, which is going to take place next summer. Great job by all the volunteers, all the kids, just great work out there to get those kids out there. Some news from out in Rhode Island, and that the Villa in West Warwick is going to be the new seminar meeting location for the Rhode Island Saltwater Anglers Association. The West Valley Inn, which is where they did meet for 14 years, closed. They needed to find a place that fit at least 200 people, so they are moving their meeting to the Villa, 272 Coesset Avenue in West Warwick. They have food, easy from I-95, parking for more than 200 cars. If you're in the eastern part of the state, or if you are in Rhode Island, certainly a group worth getting involved in, know a lot about saltwater angling. They do a lot of stuff, do a big show every year. So they have moved to the Villa in West Warwick. Interesting story in the Fisherman magazine. Toby Lipinski has talked to me a few times. He was there when I filmed the kayak fishing segment out at Three Bells Outfitters that we did a few weeks ago. Well, one of the stories that Toby told me when we were out there at the first cast at Three Bells Outfitters was that he was out with Chris Wall, who we're hoping to get on a future show. And Toby flipped his kayak, lost a lot of the gear on it. A year later, he's out fishing, same spot, finds the seat from the kayak he flipped in the water, still usable. And he wrote about that. It's at thefisherman.com. It's in the new edition. You'd think an editor would remember the word and not lose it. But it's in the edition. It's a great photo of him holding this seat that's been underwater for a year. You wouldn't really know it except for some leaves and whatnot clinging to it. But just a really cool story that maybe you don't need to give up on all that gear that you've lost, that it might still be out there. We are going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit of trout fishing, talk about upcoming shows, and talk about the friends that you make while you're fishing on Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop on the HAN Network.
Warm weather, light breezes, boats are in the water. There's no better place to celebrate summer than the Dock Shop. Whether in Darien at 51 Tokenique Road or Westport at 609 Riverside Avenue, the Dock Shop is where you'll find everything you need to kick off summer. From the latest summer apparel to the newest fishing tackle, the Dock Shop will help you get the most out of your next beach day or harbor cruise. At the Dock Shop, you'll find a wonderful selection of items made in the USA and right here in New England, all with a distinct nautical flair. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the coastal lifestyle, this is a unique place to shop. DockShop.com.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. My property taxes on my single-family home were close to $20,000 a year. Now that I've downsized and I'm in a townhome, and because of the condo tax laws, my fees have gone from $20,000 down to about $5,300 with the star exemption. There is no other townhome that compares in the area. This is where I want to be.
Have a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Give your day a jumpstart with the latest news, sports, weather, and more on Coffee Break, live on the HAN Network, weekdays at 11 a.m. Connecticut news doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break.
I'm Frank Granito.
And I'm Donald Ing for the HAN Network.
Tune in to Nutmeg Sports Monday through Wednesday, where we bring you all the top stories for Connecticut sports.
From players and coaches' interviews to expert opinions with local sports editors, no one gets you closer to Connecticut's games than Nutmeg Sports.
Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 p.m. on the HAN Network.
Welcome back to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. Hey, stay tuned, or tune back in at 2 o'clock. We are going to have HAN Arts and Leisure. They're going to talk about late summer and early fall films, including those vehicles for Kevin Costner. There are many. Great photo and kind of a slice of life on the sound on page 1 of the Darien Times today. Laureen Valenti went out with the freights there, and that is during one of their harvests, and they fish, they harvest oysters, they harvest clams, and there are still guys out there making a living off the sound. Very cool to see that great photo by Laureen there on the front of the Darien Times. I got to go out on the water this weekend, do something really cool, because when you get a show like this, sometimes I get really lucky and get to do things that I might not otherwise have the opportunity to do. O-Search, we had Chris Fisher, the founder, on back in June. O-Search is doing its Expedition New York, and we got to go out on the launch out to the RV O-Search off Montauk on Sunday, while they fished for and hoped to tag great white sharks. As Chris said when he was on the show, they believe it could be a nursery here in the New Jersey Bight. And the New Jersey Bight's really the South Shore of Long Island and then the waters off of northern New Jersey, New York City. The seas there were really rough, and I was happy for this, being somebody who struggles with motion sickness. They moved it to right off of Montauk. We were only a couple miles off the dock. But we got to go on the boat and spend the day there. We met the scientists, we met the crew, we saw the cradle that they use when they catch a great white shark for their studies and tagging. They explained what they do. They did catch a few dogfish, which is really a small shark. They showed the kids some of the testing that they do. That's really a demonstration on a dogfish of what they would do to a great white. I have hours of video to go through, which I will be doing for at least a couple of upcoming shows. So we're going to bring you up to date. You can follow that, osearch.org. They're on Twitter. They're on Facebook. They did catch a small dusky shark yesterday. It's the first one. They're really hoping to catch into the great whites. I hope they do as well, because what they're doing is very important. Some very interesting stories, and cannot thank the guys at O-Search enough for their time on Sunday. There was a great story, by the way, in the New York Times about that on Wednesday. The Narragansett chapter at Trout Unlimited, they're going to hold their last summer monthly meeting at the Deer Check Station on Route 165 in Exeter. That is on Wednesday, the 31st at 5. They're going to talk about the fall hatches, terrestrials, tie some stuff. It's a great opportunity to get together and talk to fishermen. That's up in Rhode Island. They've always been great supporters of the show. Sal up at Legends on the Farmington posted an update the other day, and this is one, if you're a trout fisherman and you care about the fishery, you need to listen to. And Sal reports that temperatures throughout most of the Farmington River have risen to above 70 degrees. There are some lower temperatures here and there, but that photo Sal from Legends posted, that's trout seeking a thermal refuge. So if you're out there fishing, try to land it and get rid of it quick. Really might be the best thing to do is to just stay away from the fishery for a little bit, let it cool off, let us get some rain, let us get the water temperature back down before we stress those fish out. And if they're up on the Farmington, they're getting beat up, you're going to have to use a really tiny tippet to do it, which is going to mean a longer fight with the 7X, which is going to increase the mortality rate. So think about maybe staying home and tying until the temperature of the water drops a little bit, and that shouldn't be too far off up on the Farmington. Now, since it's too hot to fish, I got thinking about cooler times. And a couple of weeks ago, I got to return to a beautiful place where I fished in November. I was introduced to it by David Schumacher, Fly Fishing Adventures with David Schumacher and friends. And I've really become friends with all of those guys and really enjoyed their company of each and every one of them. And I compared the seasons because I had filmed both of these trips. And regardless of the weather and the temperature and the season, fishing makes great friends of the people who are there, regardless of what's changing around them, regardless of what they're going through. There's leaves on the trees, there's not. You're going through your own personal changes, and you're developing friendships, and you're tight with those people, and it's really important. We didn't catch a lot of fish on either of those days on Fife Brook, but we got together and we enjoyed each other's company and we learned from each other. Met each other's families, we were there for each other. So let's just take a few minutes and enjoy the change of seasons, the time outdoors, and our friends. Whether or not we're catching fish, tight lines.